chipping him here, but he's got 20 regen. So he's going to be a impervious wall and kind of stand him around these tier 1s. You're not going to get many early towers here for Execration. It's going to limit Naga's space, limit the pick-off potential from the rest of the lineup. And what I would like to see from GeekSlate right now is keep pushing every EXO to progress your game here in terms of objectives or map control or aggressive wards, whatever you want to do, and just farm up the map. Like you should be able to out-farm Execration this period because you have the strongest core on the map. So whether that's Blink for Centaur, extra farm for Shadow Demon, who can become a 4th core in this game, especially keeping in mind you're going to or Shard. The triple cleanse is super good. Dispel is amazing versus the Ember, versus the Naga Net, versus Solar Bind, even the extra heal versus a chip lineup. And of course you can disrupt on the stun chain that's going to try and burst you. So I feel like if Narman
bit of power runes. And the setup is there from Execration to be able to snatch away a regeneration rune, which isn't really going to do too much for them. Actually, what are they doing here? They're just really desperate to pressure this tower back as much as possible. They're going to have the Ember Spirit join in with this little push they got going on.
It's just slow. It is incredibly slow. And you don't want to group too many people because of how slow it is, then you fall behind. You can't really get the fight out of it either because you don't have crazy initiation yet. You're 1,000 gold off your tiny blink. There's no other really clear way to start a fight. Again, Force is just sitting top. You can't really go on him. So it's a bit of a stalemated map here for Execration, which means Skem is probably the winner. Along with the 2 carries are going to flip the map, pick up the extra farm. Exo is up and you're a mech on this DP. I feel like GeekSlate don't want to just give up this tower here. Kind of a very slow push.
But they get a little bit too close, and John Well has already been picked off, and now they've used Exorcism. So Exorcism for nothing. A tip over from Tino, probably for a good reason, because we're saying like every single Execration, we got to be pushing some sort of objective. This is literally the exact opposite of what you wanted to see.
This is just a wasted EXO, and this is indecision from GeekSlate. You might even pay a bigger price. Arrow lands. You gotta see.
He's got the disruption. Oh, just in time before the blast came through. So he's gonna be able to survive, and they're actually gonna be able to turn things around and kill Shanks. And Carlo is gonna be forced away, using double leaps to be able to get out. Narman actually managed to get a purge onto Bob, and Bob, he's gonna jump over to his remnant. Or okay, he had a safety remnant way in the back. So both him and Tino will survive.
Oh man, barely getting out of that with 2 or 3 heroes. I kind of forgot there's a stampede in this game.
Oh yeah.
I think
and they've got an even better combo coming up with the Blink Dagger now complete for Force. So he's gonna have level 3 Stomp and Blink Dagger initiation. Now they can really start. I feel like this is step 2 in the formula for GeekSlate.
I'm glad to see he's going Blink this game. I had some unfortunate Centaurs in some of mine that never went Blink.
Whoa, what were they going? Centaur really isn't good for much else, to be honest.
Just Auras. They just went Aura Centaur. I don't know if this is, I hope this is not a trend. I think this hero needs Blink function. At least maybe you can get a 3rd item, you know? Depends how greedy you want. There's definitely this Vanguard Hood Blink build. There's, you get away with like Vanguard Pipe Blink, something like this, but I'm very glad to see this is still meta.
Trust me, I know how.
So I had dinner the other night with some of the people here in LA, one of which was Kyle. He was really trying to sell the Centaur Aghanim Scepter.
Well, good here.
I don't know exactly what the implication is there.
There's some, but were there some Valve employees sitting at a table over? Or?
Never refuse gold.
No, it was not a cabal meeting. Just a regular friendly dinner. He was really trying to put the Aghanim Scepter on Centaur, saying that it got buffed and it's actually really legit now. You think it's any good?
No. It's high as hell. Running a weed bar by any chance? It's popular out in California. What the hell does Kyle know about centaur eggs?
You know, sometimes you just want to check in, see if anything's changed with a person after you haven't seen him for a while, and it seems like Kyle is still wrong.
Yeah, still suggesting garbage. I mean, is this Ags? There's no way it's good. There's no way. It's so hard to use. Like, the problem is, even if you argue in some theoretical perfect fight it's good, I still wouldn't believe it's good because you're just not going to get it that much. Tino's gonna
Nice
get
hook shot.
hooked here.
Catching Tino, they do manage to eat their way through the cogs pretty quickly, but Scam TP's in on the other side with the extra sprout. They're going to be able to catch Tino and should be able to finish him off. As, yep, there goes the final blow. A nice double edge Bob trying to, once again, it's just being a menace to Narman. Probably in part because Narman is going to be an answer to him eventually.
Almost got him with that SLATE. He was like, still, these skirmishes are just kind of hard for execration progress here.
Yeah, but it's really that bad. I feel like Palos is getting huge.
Getting pretty big. I just
They haven't used an execration to take a tower in a while.
Again, the question is, is Palos' strength enough to contest level 2 Exo Roche, for example? The Furion playing the map and matching. I feel like the Naga doesn't necessarily stop these things. That's my concern. Your hero strength is only as good as what you can use. Palos is having a really good game, but the rest of his team is not that enabled. Bob is really suffering here. His game is not going to get better over time, too, because you're playing versus Furion. The second you hit 20, his game is kind of done in the fights. This is the level 2 Exo smoke.
Not necessary. They've got the stop. Yep, that's Roche. Or at least an attempt. Palos is still around here. Maybe he could do some sort of song shenanigans, but really hard to do that against Exorcism. They're backing up like they want to smoke and see if they can do something about it, but Roche, 1,000 health left. They don't have much time. Bob actually intercepted by the clockwork. They get a good hold in the song. Perfect. Roche, oh, they pushed him out. They pushed time, and the game just goes over the alley. Now they're going to try and first down Cox. Toss up in the air, actually hits an illusion. Seth, nice save with the disruption. And the spirits came back just at the right time. So Cox actually healed back up the fold. Geek Slate on the precipice of total disaster there. It would have been annihilation if they lost the Aegis and lost their carry. In fact, it looks like their mid is still going to die. Cox ends up getting caught in the end. Execration. Not only jack the Aegis, but end up killing 2 on the side of Geek Slate.
That was just a literal perfect song in blind light there. Double Abba.
The arrow one. Toss on top of that. Execration are just monsters right now. Where did this execration go?
Where'd they come from? Where are they going to next? They just completely turned this game. If you give up the Roche there, I think this game is pretty hard. But now, you're in a decent spot. You team wiped them, got an Aegis. Did they get the kill on Roche too? I don't remember, but I don't
think so. I'm pretty sure that the exorcism would have had to be the blast from the coddle, which seems pretty doubtful.
Well, Paulo's got to use his strength. Makes it pay off. Now his team's back in the game. Still, I feel like Geek Slate, the way they're positioned in that fight, they gave the song to him. Maybe they felt like they weren't going to get there in time, but I wouldn't have minded John Well just playing more aggressive in the river.
Radiant's getting friendly with Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, I mean, he chose a 50-50 and he went the wrong direction. He ends up catching the Ember Spirit coming down the triangle instead of the rest of the team coming from the river, so.
Look at that.
Noggin, but again, that was pretty fast. Just a nice play from execration, and now it's
Stomp, beautiful combo. That is just enough to be able to get a kill. That's an unstoppable streak. Fed away from Bob, straight into the arms of Cox.
Arms of an angel. Angel of death. An arcane rune.
Yeah, she's something like that.
It's a big rune as well. Still, this is only a 1k difference game for execration. That move keeps you in it, but Bob's game is still hard here on this Ember. A single hookshot into silence, a single Gleipnir, Shadow Demon Purge. He really needs BKB in this game. Probably their best window to try and take over fights and snowball off the Naga's presence, but he's so far away.
well. Palos is well far ahead. Pretty even with the Nature's Prophet and just completed a heart. So these illusions are going to be a lot harder to deal with. And I feel like this is where you start creating a ton of space. Narman might get picked off here. I don't know if he knows this is an actual Naga Siren that is right next to him. And he ends up disrupting the wrong one. So now he's definitely dead. I was just going to slowly walk him down bit by bit.
That was a impressive death. One of those you go, where's the team?
And he got a tower as well.
Sure, yourself feel better.
Somebody deal with these illusions, but the reality is nobody on your team really deals with the illusions.
Yeah, it's you. You're the illusion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's half of Dota. You know, half of Dota is playing really well with skill, and the other half is blaming everybody else on your team.
Radiant's top tower is under
And if you do that, you get to rise what they call the professional. So you got to make sure you're doing both halves of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, Dota's a hard game filled with a lot of failure. If you accept all that failure as your own, you're probably going to give up pretty quick. So it's very important to blame other people to keep your career going.
I mean, every young Dota player I've ever met, that's the first thing I tell them. Make sure you're blaming your team.
Find out what your team is doing and focus on it entirely.
Oh, you don't even have to do that. You can just blame them for shit they didn't even necessarily do. And just make it up. And then you'll feel better. You know, like, am I the problem? No, it's everybody else. Every single game.
Palos finds another one. Naga Siren, this adjustment of play where people are disguising themselves. Oh, the attempted silence back, not quite there. Shanks gets silenced instead. And Cox an opportunity with the help of the Sand and Light here to be able to run down some heroes. Cox, he's just feasting on some backline, but Palos, he's also feasting on Skem. They actually forced the BKB usage out of Skem there, and ultimately forced Geek Slate to use an exorcism and still run away.
You just don't have the Naga answers right now, especially with Aegis. There's no way you can commit on the Aegis Naga. Even if you tried, I think it's pretty hard without the Death Prophet BKB at least, and him is not at the point where he's late game Furion gonna man fight you. Play any hero. Right now, EXECRATION, they're gonna continue to push it. It's crazy that it's felt like they've been in control and they still don't even have a net worth lead.
Damn. No BKB this time. Needs some help from his team, and he does have Narman ready to go with a Demonic Cleanse. He also has a Disruption ready to use it at any time. Not gonna Ember just yet. Meanwhile, the Clockwork got the initiation they needed, but forced to get the Ember Spirit out of there. Skem is going to be held in place by the Song. Palos and the rest of the team is going to push forward here. The BKB still on cooldown. Narman needs the Disruption. He gets it now. Shanks way to the side. Nice two-man silence onto the Juice of Force, but Skem still needs some help to get a stomp out. The Ember Spirit back and forth through Skem. Then really with the stage problem, they finally get him with a slight. They finish him off. Cox now just draining bombs, slowing him down. Serious work with these lights is just doing damage, man. He is just wiping through these heroes low enough, and now Force is probably the next one caught up. Disruption for what? Into an avalanche? No, blink away.
That's for
actually
what?
Gets out.
You despair when there is still hope. Hope for a slightly less lost team fight, though. Palos is definitely taking this one over. Really strong right now. That Roche turn really just bought him so much space and time. It's like don't feel comfortable going on him, and he's earned so much space in the fight. Enough space that Ember is just sliding people down for years. Now he is BKB flying out. Fully completed. Back into that. Back.
He is finally able to play the game. He still has the level 20 talent. That's going to be a little bit worrisome at some point in time, but Skem is only just now hitting level 18. Bit of a rough go of things lately against that Naga Siren. He just doesn't really have good enough answers.
And the supports are not strong enough to pick up the slack yet. At the same time, as Ember got the BKB for Cox because he went for this Kaya. You have a lot of snowball items on Geek Slate that after you lost these fights are not necessarily paying off as well. Like I feel like Centaur is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where Centaur wants to win those fights because fights fall behind, this hero kind of sucks from behind. He does not offer a lot. His stun is pretty hard to land. It's not even that good. Stampede is best spell. It's decent, but Stampede does not change the course of the fight. It just helps you maybe get the pick on the Ember off of a chain stun or something like this. But as we saw in that previous fight, you already have double Force Staff up for Execration. You have this Coddle who has this mega cast range with Eye of Vizier on top. Pretty much guaranteed gonna have a Force on his Ember, and I think the second that happens,
The rune of regeneration.
What do you think about
Gotta get
Force's
past it.
builds too, by the way? Because he is taking a lot of physical damage. Centaur is actually very bad against physical damage because he has no armor for some reason. And he disassembled his Vanguard to complete the pipe, which leaves him even more open to this physical damage that's coming from both the Sleight of Fist and the Illusions.
he is definitely getting shunned. I mean, I think his idea is that he's going to be a jump, and you got to win the fight in that jump anyway. Living is probably out of the question if you're stunned. You're not going to want to use your save on the Sentinel. You got to use your other Force. They do find a tiny Force already out as well. Not a bad start.
Yeah, but the silence follow-up is really nice. Skim, Lightning on 3. That's a beauty. But the song, it comes in to save everybody.
Is Dire going to
I thought they might have wanted to turn there with a 3-man club. And again, the Force Staffs are just going to bail this Centaur jump out. So you need another plan here if you're decent.
The seeds of force.
Geek Slate's plan is mass Force Staffs themselves. They're trying to get 3 different versions of Force Staff. Slight chains. They actually have the Orchid on Cox right now. Narman does have to cleanse, and he'll pop it over to the Death Prophet, which is super helpful. But right now, it's only saving people and not actually allowing Geek Slate to continue on the offensive.
They just don't have the lockdown. You're gonna need Nullifier or Hex or Purges or something of this nature. Or you just go ultra late, which is a C classic, you know. And you can always just go to the 60-minute mark and flip a coin.
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
I mean, late game Furion, I still think the late game Furion Naga matchup is pretty weird, but it gets better for Furion in the sense of he can like kill the Nagas. He can become such a big threat that maybe he just wins the fight by ignoring. That said, Palos is not a lot of AoE to really kill him in the illusion.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Gotten asked what to get apart from.
Skin's dead. Oh, he goes out the BKB just before the arrow comes in. They kill his courier.
Is Dire going to have his middle tower full?
You never know with Skem, man. Sometimes I think he's actually just gonna, I'll take you on. He's level 20 now.
Dire's middle tower
Now
is
you have more
under
lockdown. He's just really big, but again, you have to think about where the Force Staffs come from, what they're gonna do in the fight. Hog someone back,
Dire's middle
displace
tower
them.
doesn't last long.
Coddle cast range is gonna cause you problems no matter what. Oh, it's just one Roche here. I don't think Execration know they're all in this hill though.
They know some of them. They do have a high ground ward. They are going to be able to catch some here. Cox. Oh, nice hook shot. They're going to be able to get the pushback onto the Tiny. Tiny is a pretty important kill if they can get it. Once again, Cox believed to disable thanks to the purge, but it's now gone. They didn't get their opening, and now it's going to be Execration chasing after them. Waterworks get cleaned up. A beautiful blast comes through. Chains making sure that Force isn't going to be able to get eaten away either, so it's only Cox who's going to be able to limp out. And Execration will just go straight into the mid-free once again.
It's just no stuns. Just can't hit anything.
My eyes closed.
Somebody dying because you don't have Force Staff disengaged that Execration have right now. This Centaur is just gets shredded. Put himself in the cart.
To the gills.
Wheeled back home.
Medical cart.
Burns eternal.
Straight to.
You know what it is? It's the life of Brian. Bring out your dead skin. because very few heroes are able to walk away from it, as you can see. There's so much catch thanks to Shanks and Bob. Blink Dagger, Slight Change, you're just not able to get away from this.
The rune of haste.
Lotuses maybe? Or Dispel helps, but again, the Dispel is not helping you win the fight. Like, the defensive items are nice here for GSKILL, but I don't think you can buy them, because I don't think they're actually going to win you the engagement, right? It just prolongs it. But Execration have very low cooldowns. They're not really committing anything. It's not like they have some crazy jump that they use, and then, oh, like now we can turn. Just a tiny toss. So what? So you just have to, you need more damage here, I think. And more ability to commit.
Yeah, but I feel like they just don't have a way to build damage, to be honest.
No, they don't. They don't really either.
Yeah, like
so level 3.
Like Death Prophet, Cox, honestly, he did build one of the only things that does give Death Prophet like more immediate damage, which was the Kaya. That did not change anything.
That's true. But now he has Kaya Sing.
Nice toss back into the arrow. What a combo. The stop. They also have the disruption to be able to nail things out. Look at that Coddle passing Agate Enforcer. It's holding all these heroes in place. They actually throw out the song there, scared of the BKB Cox, and they're going to try and re-engage here with the arrow, hitting onto Force. That's going to be your first target. Force that over John Welch. But he gets pushed back into the Cogs. Force is stuck and will die. Zane goes with John Welch, trying to bail him out. Now Narman's going to be chased down by Bob once again. Narman, Force Staff up in 4 seconds, but he just cannot get back to base. Pushed back again and again by Tino. Cox is going to fight back, and he will going through, and he's actually doing this with the DD Carlos at the same time. They do not have an answer to him, really. Scan with the DD is doing some serious work to everybody else, though. Bob gets low. Now silence on to Carlos. See if they can finish him off. Nice hop over from Cox as well. Getting over the trees, away from the illusions. Ooh, close call there from GeekSKILL, but a turnaround, all based around a double damage for Scat.
Where the hell did you get that from?
I don't know.
I guess he saw it on this top ward, TP'd for it, and just TP'd back into the fight. That engagement. Because again, we were talking about they lack the damage. Well, now you get 2 Furions for the price of 1.
That was a blatantly unfair team fight in some ways, but it goes to show the GeekSKILL can fight back. Ah, true.
Coming in.
They're fickle with their favor, and now Scam is level 22 Nature's Prophet, so he's got the Leash talent. He's also got Silver Edge complete, and he just picked up a Hyperstone too, so he's going to work towards an AC. That'll seriously bolster both his attack damage as well as just in general the team armor problem that is ever constant. Seriously, somebody get Force some goddamn armor. He's on 3 armor at level 14. Centaur needs help, man. No,
actually,
this hero
3.
sucks. This hero has
I hate this hero.
Garbage base stats.
I really hate this hero, but when he works, he looks really good, so he always tricks you into picking him, but he needs some physical resistance. They're getting chased here. Execration. I don't know if GeekSKILL know they're getting chased here. They have really good vision, though.
Yeah, talking about the fight underneath the ward here. Narman's going to be targeted first. Not even going to cross right yet. He's on the horse. They have to be able to do a little bit more distance. He tries to go for the toss. Bob goes for the kill, and he managed to hold it. At the same time, the rest of his team has stumbled into this exorcism, and it looked a little dicey. Bob jumping back and forth. But he's managed to get away with one of the remnants. Slides back again. GeekSKILL just trying to play around each other as much as possible. Still 30 seconds left on the Aegis, too. So Bob, he may try and go back in. Doesn't have the remnants to work with. Just a slight change. They got the real Naga as he tried to charge forward to be able to keep the clockwork kill. Half the damage. He managed to catch him. Manta gets over the side. Up the zone. Cox wants to be able to finish him off. Damn illusions. He gets away. In fact, not just getting away, he's healing. He's going to come there. This one again. Oh, what an orchid timing. Stops and stops. The arrow hits on Scan, but he's keeping himself alive thanks to a satanic. He's okay for now, but Paladin's
Second Will-O-Wisp.
Nice use of the Will-O-Wisp. He's going to be able to pull these heroes back in. They managed to get a conch, but the real Naga Siren just keeps on creating more and more, and now they just run out of damage on Geek Slate. They don't have anything left in the tank. Execration have drained them dry.
The regen from this Naga Siren, way too much, man. That fight just goes on so long. You're so close to killing him too. Like a couple hundred more HP. If that BKB lasts a little longer, maybe you kill him, but he has Shard, he has Heart, he has Paladin Sword.
Oh yeah, the Paladin Sword. That is a little unfair.
Absolutely brutal. And then of course you still have Aegis on Geforce, so you're really playing 4 to 6. Second Will-O-Wisp steals your fate. It's just way too hard to fight through that at that point. And again, you're getting chipped down on these low armor heroes the whole time. You're tied on top of it. Fights go long.
Dire's top barracks has fallen. Dire's top barracks don't look good. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Seems like the Nature's Prophet that Geek Slate always have so much faith in. They always seem to be okay with going late game with this hero. But it is definitely being answered in this game. The Naga Siren being so much bigger at this point in time. He's got Bloodthorn, Manta, Heart, Scotty. You're gonna get some illusions on this Nature's Prophet. He's gonna be fighting for his life every single time.
You can get 5 Dagons. Zap him on that.
An option.
There's some hope.
That's Norman with Glimmercape and Force Staff. He's thinking about Aether Lens before he goes for an Aghanim Scepter. Aghanim Scepter is one of the only remaining like changing abilities for this Geek Slate lineup. There really isn't much else that changes for this whole squad. It's very much an early game oriented lineup.
They have the farm on the supports, I think. Supports for sure. I mean, you lost every fight. It's way too hard. But you can't really enter them. You're just dying to something being slighted or
You say support, but really you just mean Norman, right? I don't think Clogwor's going to be doing a whole lot with extra farm in this game.
if he gets a really good hook cog and pushes someone out of the Force Staff range, that's maybe the best thing he can do. Otherwise, hook and a.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Hook and pray.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Geek Slate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Hook, die. Hook, pray, die.
Clockwork's got a little stuffed pillow. He's got it etched on. All right, time for third Roshan. Is that third? Yeah, so it's Aghanim Scepter.
Big Ags here.
Probably Amber if he doesn't have it.
Yeah, probably Bob here. Anybody else he gets it. Right, you have suggested the real in here. He got Bob.
I don't think it, well, I guess you could reel in Nature's Prophet outside of his own Sprout. Maybe self-Sprout, come back out.
Jack. Trapped in here with me. This is the last lane test. Lose this fight, it's me.
They lost the momentum in this game off of a Roshan steal, and they're not going to be able to back in time. They're going to charge away with the Stampede. They're going to try and get there, but it's not going to happen. The ages and everything has already been picked up, and Force is slowed down inside of the pit while the rest of the team is trying to deal with this Will-O-Wisp. It's dangerous. Sken actually going to go for the TP out with the rest of his BKB, but it's denied by the
Go to sleep, son.
Now the air not going to let you wake up onto Skem, and he's going to just blow up before he even gains consciousness, and so it's the rest of Geek Slate here. Cox is going to go strong for a little while, but BKB is eventually going to wear off, and so will the Spirit Siphons. Once again, these long, drawn-out fights are just way too one-sided. The longer it goes, the better it goes for Execration.
The Dire Angel is destroyed.